Hey guys, Savvy Tech Girl here. I am back again, and this time I'm going to be talking about, we're still in the Kodi settings, and we're going to look at the music settings. Okay, so again, all you need to do, no matter what version you are using of Kodi, go to your systems area, and then you want to click on music. Okay, so we know that with the Kodi or with the streaming media device XBMC, FMC, SMC, whatever we're calling it, whatever version you are using, it is a fantastic tool for streaming your music through your home network. So it gives you lots of options here, guys. You can include artists who appear only in compilations. Right, so where you've compiled information, you can actually include the artists there. Determine if artists that appear only in compilations are shown in the library artist view. Fetch additional information during updates. So it will actually go out and it will go on the internet and grab information for you. So if you have a song that's playing, it's going to find that info and it's going to put it into the system. Default provider for album information is actually the Universal Album Scrapper. So that's the database that holds all of the information. Default provider for artist information, again, is coming from the same thing, same location. So obviously that information has to be held somewhere, and that is where it's being held. Prefer online information. With this enabled, any information that is downloaded for albums and artists will override anything you have set in your song tags, such as genres, years, songs, artists, etc. Okay, so if you have set all that information up by yourself and you turn this on, you are going to lose your information. So if you've spent endless hours tagging things, I would suggest not to turn that on. Show all items entry, so all albums, all seasons, etc. Update library on startup. So again, check for new and removed media files on startup. So if you were running, let's say you had an external hard drive plugged into a USB port, that's where you had your music. Let's say your friend came over, you plugged their device into your system. That's going to just update, take a look, and it will make sure you don't get any errors because it's looking for something that's no longer there. High progressive library updates. So we spoke about this before. And that was in the TV area. That's just sometimes annoying, but saying that, if you can see that things are being updated, it can sometimes explain why your system's a little bit slow. Clean library. Remove items from your library that can't be found. So either you've renamed them, you've deleted them. Removable storage that now is unplugged, so you could clean that. Export music library. So export the music library database to XML files. This will optionally overwrite your current XML files, and then import music. So again, you can bring in a database that you want to add to your system. Okay, so playback. Play next song automatically. So again, it's pretty much same as television. So if you want to play the next song, obviously, cue songs for selection, so you can go through and pick them, make up your own playlist. Skip steps, again, fast forward, rewind options. You can go in 30-second, 10-second, backwards the same way, 60-second. Volume adjustment, use album level. So albums have volumes set in them. You can either use them or you can put your own. So if I click on here, use track levels, or you can turn it off. I would suggest leaving use album levels. Files with replay gain information. So reference volume preamp level to use for files with encoded replay gain information. Default is 89 decibels as per standard, change with caution. So I would leave those. There's no reason why you need to go in and change the gains. But again, if you do know what you're looking at and you understand this area, go ahead and make your changes just with the arrows on the right hand side. Avoid clipping on replay gained files, so reduce the volume of the file if clipping will occur. Crossfade between songs, you want to fade in and out, one track to the other. Sometimes that sounds nice. If you're, depends what kind of environment you're in, maybe you've got some people over and you just want to make it sound nice, you can simply go in here and change those settings where you want it to start. And visualization, the open GL spectrum. So this gives you actual visualization if you have it playing on your TV. You can have all these different things. So if you just want the bars, spectrum, waveforms, it's just something to look at on your screen, on your TV. And reset above to default. Okay, file lists. So again, this is more of our lists that we're making. Enabled tag reading, name or track naming template right, search for thumbnails on remote shares. Okay, so that's just if you have made up your own lists. Audio CDs, audio CD insert action. So when the audio CD is inserted, it's not going to do anything. If it's inserted, you want to play it, or if you insert it, you want to rip it. Not a lot of people have audio CDs these days, but there's still some people ripping CDs and stuff. So you could always do that. Maybe you've made your own music. You might have your own band or something. So again, you could use that there. Saved music folder. Obviously, you can put the music wherever. This comes up and it shows you the locations, whether it's on your network. Encoder, select which audio encoder to use while ripping. So you're going to have to tell it what software you want to use, what encoder you want to use. Again, if you know what you're doing, at this point I am just showing you where these settings are. I'm not going into how to use encoders, etc. But I'm sure if you know what you're doing at this point, you can go ahead with that. And then eject the disk when the CD ripping is complete. Reset above settings to default. And then the good old karaoke. Who doesn't love karaoke? Like, really, who doesn't love karaoke? I thought so. I can just hear everybody out there clapping their hands. Enable karaoke support. So show song selector automatically. So that would come up on the screen. Again, you get to pick your font. So obviously you would need to put add-ons in for karaoke, guys. This is just the settings that would be a part of it. So you can set up the size of the font you want on the screen, the colors, so white and green. So essentially white, and then the green is where you're reading, or white and red, white and blue, black and white, okay? And then character set default, so you can use whatever language character set you would like at that point. And then export karaoke titles, import karaoke titles. So if you have some information maybe on your laptop, on your desktop, something that you have got off of online, so HTML or CSV files can be imported, and you can also export HTML CSV. So maybe your friend's got a really cool karaoke title list and you want it, so you would just simply go up here, export the list. What do you want to export? I want to export the titles as CSV. That would allow you to put it into Excel. Pick where you want to put it. So at this point you can put a USB drive in, you'd be able to see it there, and that's it. There you go. So that is the music section. That was a pretty small section. So let's go into pictures next. So pictures, file list, so show EXIF picture information. So that is information, if information exists, so date, time, camera used, etc. will be displayed. Again, guys, you're going to need an add-on for your pictures. This is just the actual settings that add-on would look at and say, oh, I need to show them what all that information is. Automatically generate thumbnails, so it will look at the pictures and it will just put a thumbnail up for you. Rotate pictures using existing information tags, again if found. Show video files in listings, so if you do have video files also within that folder that you're putting up on pictures, you're going to see it. If you don't want to see videos, just uncheck that. And again, reset above. All above. Slideshow. So amount of time to display each image, 5 seconds by default. Again, that all depends on what you want to do, how you want to see it. I think 5 seconds is probably good, but you can just go over here and change as you need. Right, 6, 7. Use pan and zoom effects and randomize. Yeah, that'd be nice to have random, or again, reset to default. Do I want to reset it? Yes, I do. Okay, so that's pretty basic. That's the pictures. And let's jump into weather. Weather is a service for weather information. I currently do not have one, but if I click on the service information and I say get more, it will give me an option for some add-ons. So weather forecast for the Czech Republic, well, that wouldn't do me any good. The Met Office, so that would be good. Open weather maps, the Oz weather, Weather China. So they've actually added some new ones here, which is nice to see. Weather Oz, Yahoo. So I'm just going to go into here, onto Yahoo, installing it. So there you go, installing the add-on. Now I can go into the settings and I can say location setup. So let's pick Niagara Falls. Now there are a couple of Niagara Falls, one's in the States. Oh, and it's not going to work for me. I'm doing quite a bit online at the moment. Let's just search Niagara, see if anything comes up. Yeah, so Niagara, New York, Niagara, Ontario. So we're going to go Niagara, Ontario. There you are. And I'm going to click on OK. So now I have defined my weather settings as Yahoo. And that's where it will go to gather my information if I want to see the Yahoo or the weather at any point. Okay, add-ons, we obviously know what the add-ons area is. Lots of different videos for add-ons. I can click on the up arrow and I can say at this point install from zip, install from repository. I have separate videos for add-ons, so I'm not going to go through everything here. But I just wanted to point that out. That's under the system settings. Services. So we have services. This again is an area you're probably not going to go into, but device name, you can name it anything you want at this point. So we can name this Savvy Tech Girl. Okay, so we can name this anything we want. That's how you're going to see it on your network. Okay, when you look at your network, you're going to see it on there. That's what you will see it as. UPN DLNA. This category contains information for how to set up UPnP services. Plug and play. It's also called DLNA, most consumer electronics. So you can pick at this point, share if you want to share things, what you want to share. Let me just click it so you can see. Announce library updates, looks for external subtitles. So on videos, this can cause extensive CPU and file system network load. So this is if you are actually looking to start doing gaming, start creating web servers, start sharing information, start uploading. But this is the area that you're going to come into, okay? Web server, allow remote control via HTTP. So at this point, you can actually make it so you can connect to this from the outside world using what port you want. Make sure that port is not blocked on the router that you are behind. Your username, your password, and the default, the interface that is going to be used. Okay, so the default web interface is the Kodi team. Again, I'm not going to get into detail on how to do that. That would be a completely separate video. But if somebody is interested in that, that's exactly where you would go. I'm going to turn off. I do not want anybody connecting to my device from the outside world, and I don't know what my settings are currently on my router, so it's plugged. I'm turning it off. Remote control. Again, allow remote control by programs on the system, allow remote control by programs on other systems, and reset all. So if you need to remotely control this, that's the way to do it. Zero config, announce services to other systems. So allows applications on the network to discover services. You don't have to do anything. Basically plug and play. Any of your devices that are on your network are automatically going to see your device. AirPlay. AirPlay obviously is for iOS devices. iOS 8 compatibility mode is also on here. You can use your volume control, password protection. So yeah, this is a good add-on. So if enabled, the content from other AirPlay devices or applications can be received. So in today's day and age, so many people have iOS devices. This is really a good add-on. If you do have one and you want to use your AirPlay, then give it a try, see how it works. I'm going to turn mine off. I do have lots of devices, but not interested in that right now. And then SMB client, so Samba. So this is if you again want to be connecting to remotely, maybe from another desktop or a laptop within your home network. Okay, it's turned off by default, but if you want to be using Samba, again, a whole other video, but that shows you exactly where you need to go to get to it. And then I'm going to look at systems here. So video output. We have video output, audio output, input devices, internet access, power saving, debugging, and master lock. So display mode, this is automatically going to be sensed when you install it. If you're using maybe an Android box, an external box, your HDMI cables should automatically sense the size of the display with all the settings. If, however, it does not, you go into your display here, you can change what your settings are. So if for some reason this 1920 by 1200 was not coming through clear, simply click on something else, find out what the resolution is of your screen, you click it, and you're ready to go. It will also ask you if you want to revert back, so don't worry about messing anything up. 3D mode, you can put that on if you want to be watching 3D movies. Prefer mode here is again 3D media such as videos should be played. Vertical blank sync. Again, this is eliminating vertical tearing, so all about the video calibrations. We can go in here and you can see at the top left I've got a blue line in the corner, so that's calibrated properly, but I can move it with my arrow keys up and down. You want to see that blue right in the corner. I'm going to hit the enter button. Now it's at the bottom right hand corner. Here we go, there it is. We can see this is for subtitles, so you can actually move that up and down. So if I want subtitles here or maybe here, and then the rectangle, make sure it's perfectly square, and that will give you a good setup, guys, for your video on your screen. So if for some reason your video is maybe only 25% of your screen, the HDMI cable's not picking up your proper settings, it might be an older TV, that's what you want to do. You want to go to video calibration. You have test patterns, use limited color range if for any reason. It should be used if your display is a regular HDMI TV and does not have a PC or other mode to display full range color. So it will give you a little bit better coloring. However, if your display is a PC monitor, then leave it disabled to get proper blacks. Okay, and then reset above. Audio output, again, we are using internal speakers. You may have a external. I have a USB device here. And then you also may have some other audio output devices where you can configure that. So you've got number of channels, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 7, 5.1 surround. Mine is not, obviously, but I can say that it is. Output is optimized. So this area, guys, is where you can get all of your audio settings. So for somebody that's really into audio, this is where you want to go. Okay, input devices. So Apple remote. So do you want to allow your Apple remote? Heck, you may as well, right? If you want to be able to use that. So do I want to proceed? No, I don't. I've disabled it. Allow start of Kodi using remote. So we can actually turn that on, right? You push the button on the remote and Kodi actually starts up. Enable mouse and touch screen support. So if you do have a touch screen, then you can enable it here. So that's under input devices. That's a great section. If anything, you're going to use this area more than anything out there. Internet access. If you guys want to put your own proxy information in, that's where you go. Okay, if you want to limit the bandwidth, Again, this is where you go for your settings. Power saving, we looked at this before, but you can put your display to sleep when idle. We set up your idle times in the previous one. That was the TV section, I think. Shutdown function, so if you want to have a timer on there, like me, I watch TV for 5 minutes and I fall asleep, so mine would probably be 5 minutes. But you can turn that on and off. 5 minutes, see? There you go, that would be me. And then shutdown function, what do you want to do? Do you want to quit out of it? Do you want to exit? Do you want to minimize shutdown? If you shut down, obviously it powers it off. Okay, try to wake up remote servers on access. So again, if you are on a network situation and they go to sleep, do you want to wake them up when they see some movement on the network? Debugging, enable debugging logging. So again, this is for developers. They want to see what's going on. If maybe you're working on something, it's troubleshooting. That's where you go, guys. System settings and go to debugging. And then master lock. So a master lock code and settings. So that is for you want to lock the machine down. You don't want anybody making any changes once you've set all of this up. The last thing you want is your kids or somebody to come along and start making changes. So master lock, put your master lock code on, and then you're all set. Okay, so that is the systems. That was a lot. Lots of videos there, guys. I wanted to go through it, but please send me an email if you have any questions. I went through it quickly, but like I said, you can pause it and get the information out of this that you need. Please send me any questions that you may have. SavvyTechGirl@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/SavvyTechGirl, and of course on Twitter @SavvyTechGirl. Don't forget, my shows are Thursdays every week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Technology Week in Review. Looking forward to it. Thanks, guys. We'll catch you again next time.